Hey guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. So today's going to be episode 3 of First Time Gun Buyer. So today is really going to show you the first time gun buyer what really is going to be the best gun to suit you and your needs. Now, obviously you can go out there, you can buy a really small handgun like let's say a SIG P365, something like a Shield maybe, or you can go out and buy a really large gun like a 5-inch M&P or a Glock 17, maybe even a VP9 for that matter, because even that's sort of a large handgun. So the question always boils down to what's going to be the best fit for you. It really is going to depend on a lot of things. You know, if you get a gun that is too small, you may not be shooting it very well, especially if you're new to shooting. So you may want to consider getting something a little bit bigger that's a little bit easier to handle, and on top of that, a lot more comfortable to hold in your hand and easier to control. At the same time, you may want to go a little bit larger for a heavier gun and for a longer gun, just because of the inherent, I guess you could say, traits of it being maybe slightly more accurate. Obviously less recoil if it's a heavier handgun, but overall the choice is going to be up to you. So I'm going to show you a few guns today that kind of meet the criteria of, let's say, a compact handgun, a subcompact, and of course what I have is a full size. Now again, this does not mean there are not other options out there, because there is a ton of options out there. I'm just going to show you what some of the things that I have that sort of makes it easier for you to understand what may work for you as your first gun. So for example, I'm going to show you the Shield, the M&P 2.0 Shield, which I really like the gun quite a bit. This actually might be a Shield and an M&P day, but here's my M&P 2.0 compact. And then of course I have my 4¼ inch. Now, just to make sure this isn't such a biased review for just Smith & Wesson, I'm also going to show you my CZ P01, which is also considered a compact model. And I may show you some other things just to kind of give you an idea on size-wise, you know, how it works for you. But overall, it's going to be basically your choice. You know, what works best for you, big or small, heavier or light. It always boils down to the buyer. What I would suggest you do right now is you go to your local gun store, you pick up as many guns as you can in your hand, and you really think to yourself, which one of these guns is going to be the best one for me to carry. So let's go to the table and let's take a look. All right, guys, so here we are at the table. So first off, when you're looking at a handgun and you're looking to purchase your first one, again, you always have the option of going with something small. Now, the smaller handguns have a lot of good features to them. Obviously, small meaning they're very compact, meaning they're very concealable, and they're really comfortable to carry. I mean, a Shield for me is extremely comfortable. It's super thin, and more importantly, you know that it's going to be reliable. So I think the Shield for me has always been a winner. But, you know, again, if you're a first-time gun buyer, this may work for you, but you also want to consider the fact that because it is so small, it is going to be more susceptible to recoil. It's also going to be more interesting to shoot this gun after several hundred rounds. You know, again, if you go into the range and you shoot maybe 50 rounds at a time, this may not be so bad. But if you're sitting there for 200-300 rounds, after a while, this may chew your hand up. And that's not a good thing, because if you become uncomfortable shooting it, you're probably not going to want to carry it. And sometimes, you know, that may defeat the purpose of owning this firearm in the first place. So even though the Shield is a great gun, would I say for a first-time gun buyer this is the best choice for you? I would say it's probably not, just from the simple fact that it may be just a little too small to start off with. You may not be shooting this accurately. You also may not want to carry it so much just because of the fact that you maybe spent 200 rounds at a range and it just ate your hand up. So now as a result, you're a little iffy if this was the right choice. So if that's you, I would highly recommend not getting this gun. Now, of course, if I went to another handgun, like let's say, for example, the M&P 2.0 4¼ inch, this gun right here is extremely comfortable to shoot. Why? You're getting a good enough size to be comfortable. You also have a little bit more weight to the handgun, so the felt recoil is going to be a lot less. And you can see that even with your support hand, the way the support hand wraps around the handgun, it just really makes it very comfortable to shoot. Now, of course, long-term range time, what you're going to find is you're going to probably enjoy shooting this gun a heck of a lot more than, let's say, a Shield. But the only other issue you may find as a new first-time buyer or shooter is that this gun is a lot larger than other guns that would be considered compacts on the market. And that right there could also be defeating the purpose for you. Again, why? Well, the weight may be just a little bit too much for you, and just the size of the grip may reduce the ability for you to conceal it if you're too stubborn and you don't want to change the way you dress. Now, of course, if that applies to you, you may want to stay away from this, only for the simple fact that it's a little bit too long on the grip, although it is a fantastic gun to shoot. Well, then enter the picture of the compact gun. Now, it's kind of interesting, you know, because the compacts are kind of a hybrid of certain guns, so to speak. So I think a lot of us out there who enjoy guns and who own lots of them would probably say that the king of the compact is going to definitely be the Glock 19. Now, some people may be shrieking when I'm saying that, but it really is. I mean, it really rewrote, I guess, the game on firearms. And so the Glock 19, whether we like it or not, has always been the standard that others would measure themselves against. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that with the M&P 2.0 compact, this is very Glock 19-ish. Now, I don't have a Glock 19 anymore. However, I will show you this. And what you're going to notice is that right away, the grip doesn't extend past your pinky. Now, you may see this little piece of plastic on the floor plate of your gun, but what you're going to realize is that's just for your magazine, and if you were to remove it, then the end of the gun or the grip actually doesn't extend below your pinky. Now, again, is this the most compact of handguns? I would say that at this time, it probably is in regards to grip length. Again, the Glock 19 is basically the same size as this, so if that's the king of compacts, then I'd have to say this is a very, very second close, maybe even a prince to the Glock 19. But overall, again, it's very comfortable to shoot. You get a nice purchase on the handgun. And although the grip doesn't extend below your support hand, what you do notice is you still get a very nice purchase on the handgun. Again, because the grip is shorter, you're also going to have an easier time concealing it. So for me, if I was going to recommend a first-time gun buyer to go for a certain type of gun, this would definitely be something like it. Now, again, there's tons of compacts out there. And then there's even kind of the hybrid compact. And what I mean by that is it's not small enough to really be a compact, but it's not big enough to be a full size. And I really think that something like a P10 from CZ kind of fits that bill. Now, you're going to notice that even though my pinky is right here, there is a little bit of the polymer that sticks out. And then, of course, you got this really fat base plate on your magazine, which kind of extends the grip as a whole. Now, what that does is even though this is considered a compact, it's still not as, let's say, compact as an M&P 2.0, but it's still not as full size as a 2.0 4¼ inch. So this is sort of, in my opinion, like a hybrid. I would say this falls in line with something like a PPQ, which again, if you've ever measured it, you'll notice that it's about the same length on the grip. Again, you get a very nice purchase on the gun. The support hand is very comfortable. And as a result, would I recommend a gun like this? I would actually recommend this gun because it is not difficult to conceal. And as you know, with these compacts, they actually shoot very well, and you can shoot them for a long time, which makes it even better. Now, of course, I have my P01 out here too as well. Again, this is sort of a, I guess you could say, a real compact as well. Again, you don't have much extension past your pinky. That's just the floor plate of the magazine. And as you can see, once the magazine is in, it just gives you a little bit more bite underneath your pinky and your support hand, and it makes it just feel really comfortable. So overall, if I was going to recommend something for the first-time gun buyer, no offense, guys, I'd shy away from the Shields and the PPSs and the 365s because you're just not going to, in my opinion, get a long-term enjoyment over those guns, especially if you're just starting out. Would I go with a full size? The full size is always a possibility, but just keep in mind with the weight and the size of the grip, this may be less likely for you to carry long-term. And again, if this is your only purchase and your only gun for a while, you want to make sure whatever it is, you're going to carry it and you're going to shoot it well. And that's why I'd always recommend the compact size. These just seem to work the best. They seem to fit the best. They seem to shoot really well. So I don't really think you can go wrong with anything that's considered a compact in the firearm world. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think. Again, this is all about learning and trying to get some insight into what may work best for the first-time shooter. So as a result, if you have any tips or advice, please leave those comments down below. We always appreciate them. Again, give us a thumbs up if you want to. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.